Hello everybody, my name is Bryce, aka DubsNotSubs, and welcome back to another video. And today we have another podcast. As you can see that I am not on the screen, and most likely I have a very poor graphic up right now, and that is because I grew up on this Sony movie studio, Sony Vegas type of editing software, and recently my software has decided to not want to render out anything for me and just completely just go kaput, every time I try to end something or render it out, it just does not want to work for me. And so I couldn't really afford Adobe as a kid or back in high school and stuff like that, so I didn't have it, and that's why I did Sony Movie Studio. It was like $40, and I just grew up on it, and I learned it, and I know that one inside out a lot more than I know Premiere Pro and After Effects, because I really don't know that at all. So it is going to be interesting to try to figure out how to run that stuff, so bear with me for my very shitty looking videos for the next few little bit until I learn about what I'm doing, or if Sony starts working, I'm able to go back to my baby, I prodigal son it or something like that. And so that's really why these things aren't going to look the best. The audio will be fine, it's just going to be the interface, but luckily for a podcast it's not really going to be that big of a deal. But the only thing that would be kind of a downside for it is that for the video I have coming up right now, I'm going to have to figure out how to edit on Premiere Pro, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to be able to do that. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot more simpler of a type of editing style and things like that. And also, because of all this and trying to figure all that out, today I'm just going to be going down the list of all the stuff I have instead of my usual. I usually have it spaced out, anime, manga, and have it separated into different categories and stuff. I really don't tell you guys about the categories, but I usually have it numbered and listed how I'm going to go through this. I really don't have that today. I don't really have any organization trying to figure all that out and having to deal with school and everything like that. So bear with me for the kind of all over the place type of style we're going with today. We're going with a rabbit trail kind of style, just one thing to the next with no really segue to get there. But anyway, we're going to start off with the new Shonen Jump series, DDDD. I think there's it's just 4 Ds or whatever. And yeah, and it's about how many dicks it sucks for sure. It's a horrible series. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's P. Oh, P. So that's penises. I didn't care so much about it that, yeah, it basically the same thing. It just sucks penises. It's not good. It is really something that is just a fever dream to get through, to be honest. The art is just weird. It's got hearts everywhere in it. It feels like a shoujo manga. The art is not really that good. The characters look wacky and not in a good way, in my opinion. The story is just so mediocre and something I've heard so many times before. And the mediocre part is kind of the ironic thing about it, because I love that the main character, isn't he's not bad at music, right? He knows what he's doing. He has the fundamentals down or whatever. That's what insinuated by the way he talks about it. And instead of the other, I think there's 6 other members of the family, and he's the 7th of the kids, and he ends up getting rejected because he's only mediocre at music. So they're all top class level pianists, right? So they're the best pianist ever, and they're super good. They're playing worldwide shows. They're they're sextuplet, and they're not really being told that they're sextuplet instead of whatever a 7 one is. There's 6 of them, and they're in a band of 6. That's what I meant. And basically, they're going to worldwide shows. The dad rejects them, and the parents end up getting divorced because the mom loves the kid who's mediocre, because, like any sensible parent, you wouldn't judge their kid for not, being the best at what you want them to do. That's because they're not you. They're your kid, but, it is how it is. You got to have a douchebag in the story and a villain, and that is the dad. And so, yeah, the story kind of goes from there, and he ends up at the end of chapter 1, deciding to go to music school and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't get the whole point. At least if you're gonna make him a character that needs to be on the come up, why make him mediocre at the start? Why not just make him really bad? Why not make him tone deaf or something stupid like that? That feels much more shonen than him to he's just okay. He's not amazing anything. Also, I gotta talk about this right now. Why the actual hell did they decide for this kind of manga at the end, for the qualification to get into college, for him to play Twinkle Twinkle Star, Little Star? Oh my god. Really? Are we serious right now? Is that really what we're going to be going with right now as our intro song into college? And not only is it Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it's someone in there freaking is mesmerized to it to the point where he starts to envision his family, and then they start talking about having these scenes of everyone gets to see the same thing. It's like, I would get it if they were saying, I felt like my family and, like, growing up with, like, my thing. But he's like, no, I see 6 kids, other kids than him. And he's like, is that the famous band? It's like you're really telling me that this guy's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was so good that I was able to teleport you to the past. I didn't know this was going to end up being a battle manga, because, oh my gosh, that makes no sense at all. And I hate it. The story sucks. I hate the story. I hate this thing. It's going to get canceled. It really feels like a series that's going to get canceled, in my opinion. I really don't see it going very far. There's a lot better music anime out there. Beck, Kimi no Todoke, and I can't remember them all. I think Your White Noise or something like that. No, I don't know. Anyway, also I'm outside, so if you hear stuff passing by, like cars or anything like that, I'm sorry about that. I can't stand being inside for too long a period of time, so I like to come outside, and that's probably why you'll see the video also. But yeah, this series is absolute ass. I hate it, and I really do believe that it's going to get canceled, and there's not going to be, much of a life to it. And maybe it will get better, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys think I'm an absolute idiot. It's not going to be the first time. Yeah, everyone's told me that, and it won't be the last. But anyway, we're going to get into the next series, or the next topic right now, and that is a little bit of a box set from Ablaze Publishing. I think it's Ablaze Publishing is their full name. Oh, no, Ablaze Manga. Okay. They sent me a series called Kagister digitally, and now they're going to be releasing a box set of it, a total of 6 volumes for it, and I will be copying this because I really liked Kagister, and also I want to support the people who were able to support me. It made me feel really special to, like, email them, and they were like, hey, yo, yeah, get a digital volume, go for it. And then, yeah, so I reviewed this. I really think it's a good series. Don't watch the anime. The anime is horrible. But the manga is actually pretty solid. It doesn't have the best art in the world, but it's not bad art, and it works for the series, and it does what it's supposed to. It's an interesting story, and the fact that it's only 6 volumes means you don't have to invest a ton of your time. You're not going to have to One Piece it or anything like all these other Shonen Jump series that take forever. It's a nice 1 through 6 box set. You're in and you're out. You get a complete story, and you have a good time with it. So I'm excited to dive into this and get through the rest of Kagister. It was definitely a good series from the start and something that I really thoroughly enjoyed, and I can't wait to actually dive back into it. It's going to be coming out December 22nd, so yeah, I can't wait to be able to check that one out finally, and it's going to be a good time. And next up, we have an anime called Super Crooks. And now this is by Wit Studio, the people who did The Great Pretender. And the reason I said Great Pretender instead of Attack on Titan or anything like that is that Super Crooks is a lot off the same style of The Great Pretender. It's about these group of people that are going to make the greatest heist of all time, but superpowers are involved. Instead of The Great Pretender being about these crazy elaborate schemes where they're trying to, just be smart and outsmart everybody. This one's going to be a lot more of like your Saints Row. Like, you're going to go in there with your superpower, blow shit up, and then like electrocute people and stuff like that. And so basically the description is, in this anime adaptation, small-time crook Johnny Bolt recruits the ultimate crew for one last heist, for real, from comic book legend Mark Miller. Now, I don't know who Mark Miller is, and this is going to be coming out with Season 1 on November 25th. So it's not that far off. It looks like a very, very solid series, and I cannot wait to actually check it out. I loved The Great Pretender. I thought the ending was a little bit, sappy, but I'm okay with that because I really was not looking for something that was gonna, reshape my mind and make me rethink everything. I was just looking to have a fun time with, some crazy antics and some high stakes heists and stuff like that, and that's what I got, and that's what I expected, and that's what I wanted, so I'm not going to complain about it at all. So basically, we have next, let me see if I make sure I have everything here. Alright, so we have 7 Seas is licensing 3 new manga, and the first one is Satoshi Mizukami's World End Solte, and now this is by the person who made Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Oh, there's a helicopter going over me. Hello, helicopter. Oh, goodbye. Spirit Circle and Planet With. Now, this is the description right here. The war is finally over, but the land has been ravaged. Magical pollution runs rampant, distorting time and space. Solte, an orphan, was mother whose mother and father were killed trying to eliminate this blight, decides to follow in her parents' footsteps, but rather than cleansing the pollution, she wants to venture into it. Like the salvagers who reclaim treasure from its depths, Solte wants to push farther and see if she can find the other side, and perhaps even the answer she seeks. Seems like a fun adventure manga, and the manga artist does have a good track record with Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, Spirit Circle, and Planet With, so they have a good track record. It seems like it's going to be very solid and a very good series. Next up, we have I think I turned my childhood friend into I turned my childhood friend into a girl. Now, here we go. It's a familiar story. A popular high school student gives her plain friend a makeover and transforms their life. But this time, the path to a new life isn't quite so straight and narrow. Kenichiro Midu has loved cosmetics all his life, keeping his obsession a secret from almost everyone except for his childhood friend Hirao Mihate. One day, Kishiro gets permission to practice applying makeup on Hiaru, and the results are earth-shattering. Hiaru's appearance transformed from plain, undersized boy to a pretty petite girl, and Kirshu discovers just how freeing it is to apply his passion. Yet, he is not the only one who finds this process liberating. Hiaru likes the makeup and the subsequent dress-up in feminine clothes, and decides to start wearing the girl's uniform to school. Kishiro doesn't understand if he's unlocked something in Hiaru or if he's simply seeing a new side to his childhood buddy that he never noticed before. What are these feelings bubbling between them in this is this attraction truly new? Now, it's an LGBTQ series. I'm not usually a fan of these type of things, just not my thing that I really get into. This is a yaoi, and yaoi's not really my thing. So if you're into yaoi, go for it. I think Banana Fish would be probably the main series I'd want to check out for yaoi first off, if I wanted to even try it out. And it's been something on my list for a while to get into Banana Fish, but with all the other series I have right now, it's just kind of on the back burner. But one day I will get to it. Next up, we have Classroom of the Elite Year 2 Light Novel Series. Students of the prestigious Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nutritioning High School are given remarkable freedom if they can win, barter, or save enough points to work their way up the ranks. Aya no Kyoji Kiyotaki started at the bottom in the score in Class D, where Hime Horikata Suzune, who was determined to rise up the ladder to Class A. Who can beat the system in a school while cut-through competition is the new name of the game. The second year of this intense drama begins. I wasn't in the Classroom of the Elite Volume 2, so I'm not really, that into Season 2. I haven't even gotten to Season 1. Maybe one day I'll check out the anime, but as of right now, I'm not really into the idea of checking this one out. It seems solid. I know Base Senpai really likes it, but it's just not my thing, and I have other things I'd rather read. So, next up, we are going to be getting into a manga announcement with a partnership of streaming services. Now, we have digital manga service Azuki has announced their partnership with Glacier Books and Starfruit Books. Select titles from both publishers are available to read today, with more titles being added over the next couple weeks. Now, Azuki, God, why can I not say that? It is another streaming service. It has pretty much all the Kodansha stuff like that, which I still have not made my rant about streaming services. So that will be coming out someday also, because I have stuff to say about streaming services, and it's not very good. It's my usual whiny complaining self. That's what I have to do in a first world country. What else do I really have going for me? But Azuki has basically just only Kodansha titles, and this is the first time that they're going to have their own unique thing that sets them out from the rest of the stuff that they have right now, to be honest. It's really nice to be able to see that they are getting into something else and, carving a name out for their stuff, and are finally making it a reason for someone to want to really honestly check it out, because if you're going to do that, why not just get Inker or get the Comixology thing, because pretty much you're getting the same thing with all of the books not being complete, because Kodansha really only allows part of the things or part of the series to be released, and only select titles to be released in full, like A Silent Voice and other series like that. And all the other ones will only be partially released, and you won't be able to get the rest of them on the streaming platform, and you'll have to go find them and pay for them that way. But that is pretty much for that. I'm really happy for Azuki. Look it up on the App Store or Google Play if you want to check it out. Azuki Manga, Azuki Manga. And that is how you'll be able to find it. It should be pretty easy. It is a $5.99 service, monthly fee, and you get all their titles on there. If you want to check out most of the Kodansha library, you can check it out. You won't be able to read most of the series incomplete, but you will be able to see if you like a lot of the series, and that is how it is. So, next up, we're going to be getting into Yen Press has a bunch of new manga announcements, and so we'll get into that, and we'll start off with, I'm going to read through most of them, and I'll kind of highlight the ones that I really want to talk about. Otherwise, I'll just kind of skip over it and move to the next one. If you could see love. May was born with the ability to being able to see arrows indicating who people were in love with. Sorry. In her new all-girls school, she discovers 2 arrows directed at her. Ooh, sexy. And now, next up, we have the land of Lindale. Kana Kagami's life ended when a power outage caused her life support to fail, and thus begins her new life 2 centuries later in the land of Lindale. But what happened over the past 200 years? Kind of interesting mystery thing where you get to delved into the future and you're trying to figure out the stuff in the past. I like what's going on with it. And also, if you could see love is also digital only. This looks to be a manga and is going to be in physical. So next up, we're going to get into I Got a Cheat Skill in Another World. A door to another world stretches out before a boy who's been brutally bullied all his life. Can this class loser turn his life around back home? And this is a light novel. Next up, we have another light novel, and this is called The Magical Revolution of Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. Anastasia concocts a plan to help Euphilia regain her good name, which somehow involves them living together and researching magic. Magic! I love magic! Yeah, I don't care about this series, though. And next up, we have another light novel, Another 2001. It has been 3 years since the calamity of 1998 that claimed the lives of Mini Yomiyama North Middle School Class 3-3. So Hiratsuka will now have to work with survivor Mei Misaki to avert a new disaster. So, if this title sounds familiar, that is because it is based on Another, the original series, just called Another, which is a series that I do really want to check out because I really like these dark mystery series, and it's something that I haven't given a chance yet, so I need to check out either the anime or the manga. I don't care which one, as long as I get the chance to, because if I end up liking it, I'll definitely want to delve into this new light novel also. And last up, we have another new light novel, and that is called Ishura. In a world where the Demon King has died, a host of demigods capable of felling him have inherited the world. The battle to determine the mightiest of the mighty begins. Now, this sounds a lot like Record of Ragnarok, but instead of it being based on a bunch of people who are, actual popular gods and deities and stuff like that, we are getting into basically just made-up demigods, and I'm completely okay with that. It sounds epic, it sounds amazing, but the fact that it's a light novel makes me a little bit sad, because I'd rather see fights play out in in a visual form rather than in a book, but, you never know how descriptive and how good of a writer that this person is. I've never heard of their works before, but I'm excited to check out this and be able to finally see what is going on in this world of Ishura and see who wins the new Demon Lord spot. But next up, we have a really laughable thing. Like, the cast in this sounded fake. Someone sent me the cast of this new movie that's coming out, and my response was, how can we believe this is real? Because he sent me it on a source that wasn't official, but now we have the official source of IGN confirming all of the characters and cast for the new Mario movie. And so we have, I'm going to leave our lead role for last, and let me get to the end. So first off, we have Donkey Kong, played by the one and only Seth Rogen. We have Toad, played by fucking Keegan-Michael Key, like, from Key and Peele. Like, it's insane what is going on here. Like, Bowser is Jack Black. Like, what? Jack Black. Luigi is Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We have Peach being Anna Taylor-Joy, and Mario being played by Chris Pratt. What is this cast? This sounds like someone made a fanfic of their favorite, like who they'd want to play everybody as a joke, and then somehow it became real. Like, I would believe that this was made by somebody, like a Saturday Night Live skit, for it to be a parody of an adult version of Mario. Like, how is this going to be a kids movie? Like, how is it going to be a kids movie in any capacity with this kind of cast? It's so weird to see all these characters in this like this. It doesn't make any sense to me that they decided to have this entire thing be with who that is. Like, why is Keegan-Michael Key a freaking... Why is he Toad? Why is Jack Black Bowser? I cannot wait for this movie. It's going to be... The memes out of this movie is going to be legit on another level. It's going to be so good. Sorry about that. I have my dogs running around here. There's a new one at this house. It's called Winry. She's named after Full Metal Alchemist. If you guys have seen that show, they're named after the girl. And she is an absolute terror on my life. So if you hear a lot of cutting out, it's probably because she's doing something stupid and I had to go get her. Or she was creating a lot of noise because that's what she decides to do. Anyway, next up we have the new anime opening for Cowboy Bebop. The tank opening has been pretty much parodied and shown as the official Netflix intro for it. And to be honest, I think it looks pretty sick. I don't think it looks bad in any way. I know a lot of people are nitpicking and complaining about every scene and like, oh, it's not like the original. Like, we already knew it wasn't like the original. It's already been announced like a long time ago that this wasn't going to be like the original. I think that it was actually a pretty faithful yet reinventive way of doing the intro. It shows a lot of new characters and like some of the new villains for this and how it's going to end up being. So I'm excited to see how this is going to end up panning out. Sorry about that. You probably heard the barking, and that is one of the many times I'm going to have to stop this podcast for it. And I don't remember exactly where I left off, so I'm just going to start over at the point where I was talking about them complaining about it, because I remember talking about that specifically. And I do think that, we already knew that it was going to be a reinvented form of Cowboy Bebop. It's not going to be like the original completely. It's not going to be a one-for-one remake. It's already been told that it's not going to be like that, so we shouldn't have expected that from the start. And I do think that the intro is pretty cool. I'm very excited to see how this is going to end up panning out for, the Cowboy Bebop universe, and seeing how they end up developing this into its own unique thing and being able to see more into what happened in Spike and all these guys' world. But we also don't get to see Ein, which is a little bit concerning with like the teaser posters or anything like that. Edward and Ein, we don't get to see either of them. So that is like the one concern I have, is like where they're going to show up, or if they're going to keep it like the hint like more hidden like they usually do, because I don't remember in the original poster. Let me look this up right now. Does it show Edward and Ein in the Cowboy Bebop in the poster? Let me see, because I don't remember if it did or didn't, because I didn't really think it did, but also at the same time I can't remember exactly. So it looks like, no, it really does. It does show them in every single one. So yeah, that is a little bit concerning now that I am able to see it. Yeah, there's the box, the DVD set right there, the Ein's right there. So yeah, that is a little bit concerning, but maybe they're just trying to keep it as a surprise or something like that. I'm not going to assume that they're going to leave Edward out of it. I really don't understand why they would do that. That'd be a little bit of a stretch, in my opinion, for like making its own remake. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Overall, I'm still excited, and I still can't wait to see how this ends up turning out. So, next up, we have Studio Colorado is revealing a new anime movie called Drifting Home that's going to be on Netflix next year. So, the Tundum, a Netflix global fan event live stream on Saturday, revealed that Studio Colorado, from the studio that made Whiskers Away and Penguin Highway, is producing a new full-length anime film called Drifting Home. This film will stream in 2022 worldwide and will also screen in theaters in Japan. The film studio will be its third length film. Does it have its... okay, here's the description of the movie. So we have the adventure fantasy as summer ends. Anime centers on Kosuke and his childhood friend Natsume. The two recently entered 6th grade and are entering an awkward phase in their friendship, and having started avoiding one another. One day during summer vacation, they visit an apartment building with that is about to be demolished. Okay, I think that's a typo. Where the two of them used to live. Suddenly, Kosuke, Natsume, and their friends get wrapped up in a strange phenomenon. The whole building is surrounded by an ocean. The group of friends must try to find their way home from the drifting building. Okay, so basically this... Oh, yeah, look at the picture. So on this picture, it shows 6 friends. On there, it looks like to be 3 girls and 3 boys. A nice little split down the middle, keep it even. And then we have basically a houseboat. And by houseboat, I mean a literal house that is working as a boat. And we have the director, Hiroshi Ishida, who did Penguin Highway. And, my gosh, Penguin Highway is such an underrated film. Please, if you guys want to watch an anime movie and you guys are trying to figure out what to do, please, Penguin Highway. I'm telling you, if you like your warm-hearted, like Ghibli, Whiskers Away, Your Name, Silent Voice, like just something different, some more slice of life and down to earth kind of thing with a little bit of a fantasy element that's involved, so that wouldn't include a Silent Voice. But my point is, it's really amazing. It's on the level of all those films, in my opinion. I really love Penguin's Highway, and because it is based on a book, and the visuals, the story, the characters are all really funny. It was a really engaging series. I loved the visuals for it. It was beautiful. I loved the story. It was very good, and I loved the twist ending at the end where we find out something about one of the characters, which I will not spoil, so you guys can get up and end up having a chance to watch it and discover it yourself. Please, do yourself a favor and go watch it. Trust me, it will be worth your time. And have I ever steered any of you guys wrong? I would never do that. I've never told anyone to watch a bad anime. And I've never gotten into a whole thing earlier in my career where I got into, a scenario where I had to die on a hill of liking a series that I still stand by to this day, Gleipnir. It's still a great series, and I still love it. I don't care what anyone says. Anyway, next up we have Nintendo is offering a new expansion pack for the N64 and Sega Genesis games. Now, we have this coming out that will being able to be played in late October, it says. And does it show all the games? So yes. Here's all the games. I'll read all the games and just talk about it for a second. So, we're going to start off with the Nintendo 64 games. We have Dr. Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Mario Tennis 64, Sins and Punishment, Star Fox 64, Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Win Back Yoshi's Story, Banjo-Kazooie, F-Zero X, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shard, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, Pokemon Snap, and The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Now that is a lit lineup for the N64. Like I cannot wait to play a bunch of these games. Just not being able to play them before, or being able to go back to my childhood and play it. Like Mario Kart 64, loved Mario Kart 64. It was my thing. I loved it. I could not stop playing it as a kid because my parents had an N64, and that was pretty much the only console I had for a long, long time. But and Super Mario 64 also are included in that. So both of those I'm really excited to get back into. And also being able to check out Legend of Zelda, either Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time, both seem like really, really fun ones that I've always wanted to check out. Banjo-Kazooie and Kirby 64. Mario Golf, Paper Mario, and Pokemon Snap are all my main, highlights of that. And, really, honestly, very good titles. Usually they give, really wacky titles that make no sense and are really, we really want to put this one in there out of all of them? But, yeah, so we're going to get on to the Sega Genesis games. And here we go. It is going to be Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hard Corps, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. We have Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Rise Star, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, and Strider. Now, the main series I'm really looking to get into this one is Castlevania, Sonic 2, and I would say that's pretty much it for the two that I really want to, get into. Castlevania, I am really loving Hollow Knight. I really love that game, so I'd like to get into more Metroidvania type of games, and, seeing some of the old classics might be just what I want, or maybe it won't be, and maybe I'll end up hating it, but, you never know till you try it. And Sonic, Sonic was actually good back then, so I want to go back to the good old days and check that out. So, next up, we're going to get into the Nintendo Switch release thing. Do I have actually 1 second. I have one that's only showing one of the new games, so I want to make sure to get into all of them. But did you guys see the Nintendo Switch conference? It was very quick, 40 minutes. It was not bad for a release. That's where we got to see the N64 stuff in showcase. Sorry, it's hard for me to focus on two things at once. It really messes with me. And so do we have... Wait, it's not going to show me, is it? Basically, okay, I might just have to go into all of the stuff that I remember, which is not a lot. So while I talk about that, I'm going to get into the main one that I really wanted to talk about, and that is the Kirby Forgotten Land that has been announced, and that's coming out in 2022, I believe. So this looks absolutely amazing. I'm a huge Kirby fan. I love Kirby Squeak Squad. That was one of the only games I ever 100% completed. It was the first game I ever 100% completed, so it holds a special place in my heart. Kirby does, and I can't wait to be able to check out the rest of it for 1 second. Let me make sure I don't have this video end up playing. And I just really am excited to be able to finally get a true 3D Kirby game, and it looks to be very solid. It gives me that Super Mario World Galaxy type of 3D vibe that's going on for it. So yeah, it looks very, very solid, and I can't wait to see the rest of it. And it just looks, I'm so excited to see it. I'm so excited to be able to play a new one. Oh man, it's gonna be great. So I'm gonna kind of go through some of the stuff that's on the YouTube channel, because I don't remember exactly the ones that are on here that were not from the thing, so bear with me if I get some of them that were already announced for trailers for wrong, but here we go. We're going to get into Ever Tried. Now, this is a interesting looking game, not something I really am going to buy unless it's free, and that's not likely to happen. Fist of Fluffs looks kind of funny. I like the name of it. It looks kind of cutesy. We have Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, a DLC for Monster Hunter. Chocobo GP, a racing game for Chocobos. I don't remember. It's Chocobo. Yeah, Chocobos are from Final Fantasy, so it's a Final Fantasy spin-off game. We have Kirby the Forgotten Land. Splatoon 3, we basically got a gameplay trailer, I believe, for it. We have another trailer for Mario Party Superstars, which I'm excited to play. I love Mario Party. I'm really excited to get back in some of the older games and get to be able to replay it on an updated looking console and just be able to play with my friends again. I really love Mario Party. It's such a fun little casual game that really just screws you every time, and you just gotta learn to love it. You hate it, especially at the end when the CPU just gets fucking every single star at the end, and you're like, oh, well, that was a complete waste of my time. But overall, it's a great game, and I really can't help from loving the Mario Party series, and it's so fun. Next up, we have Bayonetta 3. We have Mario Golf Super Rush, the update. It's a free update. We have Metroid Dread, Sounds of Dread, so I don't know what that was. I didn't really pay attention to much of the Metroid stuff. We have Triangle Strategy, another Metroid Dread thing. I believe this is most of the stuff that was out there. They have a Castlevania Advanced Collection, Actressor, what does that say? Renaissance? I don't know what that one's about. I don't remember that one at all. We have Voice of Cards, the Isle Dragon Roars. So this, I think that's how you say it, is Isle Dragon Roars. I don't know. I'm horrible. My English is terrible, man. I can't do it sometimes. But that one looks to be an interesting card game kind of a thing. So maybe I'm trying to think, not WoW, what's it called? Hearthstone, or I guess World of Warcraft has a card game, doesn't it? I don't remember exactly, or something like that. I'm trying to think, man. I can't remember what it was with the Green Goblin or something. Not Green Goblin. Goblet of Greed. Pot of Greed. That one. That got banned. I don't remember what that one was, but another card game like that. And then we have Deltarune, which is by the creator of what's its name? Why is that escaping me now? It's gonna stress me out, but we have Dying Light 2, Stay Human, Disco Elysium, Disney Magical World 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Shadowrun Trilogy, Surviving the Aftermath, Wreckfest, Pac-Man Arcade, Arcade Archives, XVS launch trailer, and Super Metroid Getting Ready for Metroid Dread. That is not from that, it looks like. And we have Hot Wheels Unleashed, Rune Factory 5, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and looks like, I think this one's new. Yeah, there's a new one that's apparently an Addams Family movie. And that seems to be a little bit interesting. Undertale. Undertale is the Deltarune series. That's the guy who made that. So, also you can get the chapters 1 and 2 of that series on PS4 for free. if you guys want to check that out and be able to check it out for free, definitely go on to PlayStation if you have one and get that first. But that is all the stuff for Nintendo. I'm really excited for the Kirby 64. Or not Kirby. I am excited for Kirby 64, but I'm mainly excited for the Kirby Forgotten Lands. It's going to be hyped. I can't wait to be able to check it out. It's going to be a great time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been reading a decent amount of manga. I'm finally getting back into that. Been reading series like My Son and Koku. Fantastic rom-com, really funny, really engaging. My favorite Rumiko Takahashi thing that I've read or seen, more than Inuyasha, in my opinion. More than was the other, not Inuyasha, I can't remember what the other series, the Alien one, which is kind of along the same veins, but it has a lot more fantastical elements with the sci-fi stuff being thrown in. So I like the more down-to-earth, funny stuff that goes on with it, and been reading that. Caught up on Berserk, not the limited edition ones, but basically the big 3-in-1 versions. I've been reading a lot of that. Been reading an Orient. Orient's really solid, by the creator who made Magi, however you pronounce that. It's very good. Love that series. If you like Magi, you're gonna get a lot more of that kind of same type of thing for it. Orient very much fills that hole for over-the-top fighting. That's really just fun and creative, and just a good time to sit back and relax. There's a lot of interesting characters in there. A lot of twists and turns that we get to see for it, and although it gives me a lot of feel of Maggie, it also really does feel like its own series and really feels like it's come into its own thing as time has gone on. I've also been reading Shuzo Oshimi's Blood on the Tracks. Very solid series. Loving that. Great mystery horror series. Getting to kind of a twist part in it. I believe I'm on volume 4 or 5 right now. End of volume 4, start of volume 5. Something around that type of area. So if you know what I'm talking about from reading it, that is where I'm at. I've also started a new series called Kingdoms of Ruin, which I will be making a review on because, damn, I have to talk about that. And also, from last week, if you guys have heard me talk about the new manga that Kamiki had going on, I've been reading Castration Rebirth, and that series is actually really, really good. And another one I'm going to be making a video about because it's actually really fun, and it seems to be like a really good time, and I really am enjoying that series so much. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys this week. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you enjoyed all the news that was going on. Make sure to come back next week and check out next week's news. Make sure to go on to vigilandapparel.net if you guys want to see the company that I run that is an apparel business. I do a lot of streetwear stuff, kind of urban, skateboarding, that kind of city streetwear things, and I really love it. I make all the designs myself. I'm currently in talks with a couple people about doing something special. I don't want to give too much detail away, but I got some special stuff going on, and it seems like as time goes on, this is going to really develop into something that's going to be bigger than what I expected it to be honest with my pessimism. So I'm excited to do that. So if you want to see our new fall collection that has been released, use fall release, no capitals, one thing, fall release for 15% off on your order if you guys end up deciding to buy something. And yeah, it means a lot if you guys end up checking that out or hitting that subscribe button or like button or whatever you guys decide to do. It would mean the world to me. If just watching this far is a miracle in it of itself. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate you guys coming and checking these out. And as always, I will see you in another video.